Alright, so welcome to my annual video. This video obviously is trying to predict who's going to win the Stanley Cup. I do this, well, supposed to be every year, but this year obviously it's a little late because of COVID. And as people pointed out last year, I was biased towards the Leafs. I do that every time. Obviously I'm going to say my team's going to win. This is actually like an hour after the disappointing loss to the Columbus Blue Jackets, trade Mitch Marner. So this year we're not going to be biased. Might be biased against the Blue Jackets, who knows. But let's just start in the West, and then I'll go east. I'll go west-east for each round. So first matchup, we have the Vegas Golden Knights and the Chicago Blackhawks. Obviously, the Blackhawks beat the Oilers, so they're pretty hot going into this. But the Golden Knights went 3-0. I think it's a pretty easy decision. Obviously, the Blackhawks weren't even supposed to be in the playoffs. I think they're only here because the Oilers played bad, not because they played particularly great. But the Golden Knights have played almost perfectly in the round robin, so I'm going to go with the Golden Knights. Next up, we have the Avalanche and the Coyotes. The Coyotes have really done a lot this year. They've really they've really built up the team. Taylor Hall, Phil Kessel, pretty decent team. But the Colorado Avalanche, man, they're a good team. Nathan McKinnon is probably top 3 in the league. So I'm going to go with the Colorado Avalanche. Next, we got the Dallas Stars and the Calgary Flames. Obviously, Dallas was in the round robin. Calgary wasn't. Dallas, though, only getting the 3 seed. Wasn't very impressed by them. I'm going to go with the Calgary Flames for this round. Next, we got St. Louis and the Vancouver Canucks. Canucks had a really good series. St. Louis obviously went 0-3. Being the defending champs, I want to give them the bias here, but, they didn't play very good. They're not going into this very hot, so I'm going to go with the Vancouver Canucks. Going over to the East, we got the Philadelphia Flyers and the Montreal Canadiens. Now, the Canadiens shouldn't be here. Obviously, they're still rebuilding. They're not where they want to be yet. But I saw a lot out of them. I was really proud of them. Beating the Penguins is... I don't think anybody predicted that the Canadiens could beat the Penguins. And personally, I think if this was Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, I think Pittsburgh would win. It seems like an easy decision because Montreal shouldn't be here. But if they can beat the Penguins, and it's not like the Penguins played bad, like I pointed out with Edmonton and Chicago, I think they played decent, and Montreal just played really well. I'm going to go with Montreal beating the Flyers in the first round. It's playoff hockey, anything can happen. So yeah, I'm going to go with Montreal. Tampa, Columbus. Now, I said this is the only round where I could be a little bit biased. But honestly, I think last year Tampa losing was because Tampa played badly, not because Columbus played good. But obviously Columbus is off of beating the Leafs, going to Game 5. But Tampa did have a good round robin, only lost to the Flyers. I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Lightning. It's a rematch from last year. I think Tampa's going to take it this time. Next, we got the Washington Capitals and the New York Islanders. I think this is pretty easy. I'm going to go with Washington. Just a good team. If they win the cup, I wouldn't be surprised. Next, we got the Boston Bruins and the Carolina Hurricanes. The Bruins went 0-3. I have not much else to say. I'm gonna go with Carolina. Next, we got Vegas Golden Knights and the Calgary Flames. If if the Golden Knights are gonna do it, it's gonna be this year. Um, they're a really good team. They've made a run to the cup, or tried to run for the cup. Uh, every year they've been in the league, so I'm gonna go with Vegas this time. Next, we got the Colorado Avalanche and the Vancouver Canucks. Now, like I said, Nathan MacKinnon, one of the best, probably one of the top 3 players in the league. Vancouver, this was a really hard one. I think I'm just going to go with my gut, and I'm going to say Vancouver for this one. This can really go either way. It's definitely going to go to 7. So yeah, I'm going to go with Vancouver. Next, we got Tampa Bay and Montreal. Now, yes, I think Montreal is going to beat Philly. I think in a series with Tampa and Philly, Tampa would win, even though Philly beat Tampa in the last game of the round robin, or second last game of the round robin. But I think Tampa will win against the Canadiens. Like, obviously, getting to second round, getting that deep in the playoffs, it's really good for them, really good for their young guys. But obviously, they're not a Stanley Cup contender. They're still rebuilding. I think in the next 2 to 3 years, they'll be Stanley Cup contenders. It's going to be really fun in the Atlantic with 4 contenders, maybe even 5 with the Florida Panthers. But I'm going to go with Tampa. Next, we got Washington, Carolina. Now, I believe this was the first round matchup last year, and Carolina won. And I'm going to go with Carolina again. I think Carolina is just a good team. Yeah, not much else to say about that. Next, we got Vancouver and Vegas. Just like Washington, Carolina can really go either way. Vancouver's really been on the come up. Real big fan of them. Vegas, like I said, they go deep every year. Gone to the finals, conference finals twice, I believe. But I'm gonna go with Vancouver. Just don't really have a reason. I'm going with my gut. It can really go either way. It's playoff hockey. There's not a really easy way to predict. It just goes either way in series like this. And in the conference finals in the East, we got the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Carolina Hurricanes. This is a really tough one. 2 Storm teams. Kind of funny. The conference finals this year is going to be a fun one to watch. All in Edmonton. If it's like this, it can really go both ways. But I'm going to go with Tampa. So, Stanley Cup Finals, Vancouver Canucks, Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, the answer is, do I think Tampa's going to finally do it? Because Tampa's going to win the Cup in the next 5 years. But I think I'm going to go with the Vancouver Canucks. I just like their team. They've shown that they're capable of just being good at hockey. And really, like, nobody... last year, I predicted the St. Louis Blues would go in the first round. No one can really predict. I'm just really going with my gut. And, yeah, so I think the Vancouver Canucks will be the Stanley Cup champions. First time in a while I haven't done a bracket challenge and put the Leafs winning. So, yeah, Vancouver Canucks. There's your 2020 Stanley Cup champions. Oh, yeah, almost forgot. Goals. I'm going to go with, like, I don't know, 19. First round, Vegas over Chicago in 6 games. Colorado, Arizona. I think that's going to be 5 games. Colorado's a good team. Calgary over Dallas. I think that'll go to 7. And then St. Louis, Vancouver, 7. Philly, Montreal. I think Montreal will win in 7. Tampa over Columbus. I'm going to go with a sweep. Sweep one year for Columbus, sweep next year for Tampa. And I hate the Columbus Blue Jackets. Washington over New York. I'm gonna go 6 games for that. Actually, you know what? Let's go 7. And Carolina over Boston. I'll go 5. Boston's gonna win 1 game, and then their season's gonna be over. So yeah, that's my bracket.